Welcome to the Sideshow. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Okay, take two. It is about 2:20 Central Time, February 2nd, 2023. This is the day I was hoping to finish the Volkswagen, and it looks like I'm going to succeed. This is the last piece I need to attach. There is one other piece I could attach, but I'm not putting it on. Let's get it in there. It's the running boards. I think that's actually the last step too. No, that is in step 15. They had plenty of, they had 16 and 17. 17 was putting the other running board on and putting a bunch of stuff on the back of the car. I put the running boards on last. One thing I left off and I'm not going to add is the front license plate. Got two license plates, but I am only going to put the one on the back. And there's the back license plate. And so now that pretty much closes the deal on the Volkswagen. Stay tuned for a little bit more. I'm going to talk about some of the last trials and tribulations before going into more detail on this thing and talking a little bit about comparing this Volkswagen to the one by Revell, the Revell Germany one, the one that is a blue Volkswagen on the box. And also following that, there will be a slideshow. But I actually made it. I got this done in time for February 2nd. So, well, stick around and we'll talk more. Okay, hopefully the lighting is okay. I've been fiddling with it for about 10 minutes now, trying to get proper bounce lighting and everything, and just kind of difficult to get it all straightened out. I've always heard that when posing your car, always make sure you got a scanty dressed show model with it so that all the flaws will be distracted by the lovely woman. So that's what I have attempted to do. What we have here is the Tamiya's Volkswagen 1300 Beetle, the 1966 model, in 124 scale. The figure, I can't remember where she came from, but she had a bikini that matched the color of the car, so that's why she's there. In any case, what you see up front is the here's where the other license plate would be. I left it off. I'm not going to put a license plate up front. Currently, the hood is down. The hood can be up or down. Actually, I guess you could say this is the trunk. It could be up or down. I have not done the trim. Basically, I don't have a Molotov ink pen right now. And the other thought is I'm not sure if I'm going to go with silver or black. And I haven't done any trim on a car model in about 6 years. So I need to practice some before I go and attempt it on this one right now. The headlights were a little tricky to do, especially the internal portion. I tried like 4 or 5 times to get it to set in there and glue, and they just would not set right. So finally, I just went ahead and used regular model glue and stuck them in there so that they would at least stay. So they clouded up a little bit. Doesn't matter too much. The outside section is held in with white glue. Chrome parts look pretty good. I do not like the way these wheels sit. I cannot get them to both look like they're sitting straight ahead, so you almost have to have it setting at a turn, which is fine. So I'm going to have it posed with the wheels at a turn. Moving out of the way here, you get to go over here now. Yeah, you can admire the car from the other side. You've got two different sizes of, or two different types of rear view mirrors here, which is pretty cool. So you got the small rectangular one over here. Like I mentioned before, I painted the portion where it would reflect in blue, but because of the body color of the car, you get a nice greenish tint coming out of where the mirror would reflect. So that worked out pretty well. Black running boards were a separate piece. You saw that before. That was the last piece that I put on. The very bottom portion here should have a little green stripe. I'm not going to worry about it. You have two options for the hubcaps. You can go without the hubcaps, have everything, well, supposed to be black, but I did it in the body color. I think it looks a whole lot better in body color. And I got a feeling that anyone who has a Volkswagen will probably go ahead and spray it into the body color as well if they can. Or you could have just a little cap that covers the center portion, which was also a chrome piece. Back here is the weakest part of the entire model, and that is the rear tail lights. They are molded in clear plastic, so you've got to paint them. I painted both the inside and the outside, except the clear portion on the back, which has to have the red and orange. I think it's orange top, red bottom. There's your Volkswagen license plate. I've got both of them done. They both look pretty good, but I just wanted to use one. You've got chrome tailpipes as well as a really nice chrome bumper in the back. You got the little latch release back here. This latch release is much easier to put on, even though it's smaller than the front latch release. This one is more difficult to put on. And that has everything to do with the location pins. The same thing with the we all know what it's called, the door handles. The door handles are also very tricky to put on because of the location pins again. The glass is also a pain. I must have glued the glass in place like 4 times before it finally set using white glue, and I did not want to go and use anything beyond that. I did paint the trim on the glass silver. You can barely see it. Same with the little line going down here for the little wing here, the little wing window here. I did in black, but you can barely see it, which is fine. You can also barely see any of the interior once it's all buckled up and everything. But it is a nice interior, and I have not glued the body on for fear that the windows might fall out, and then I'm going to have to put it together again, re-glue them. That brings us over to the other side, and pretty much the other side is the same as the driver's side, and passenger side and the driver's side. All in all, not the hardest kit to build, but there are some finicky parts, especially the trim. The trim is very finicky. One of the cool things on here, and I will show it in the slideshow, is the little Volkswagen emblem up here. They call it a metal decal, and it's basically like a sticky piece of photo etch that you just press down on and it sticks in place. The other thing that is a sticky piece of photo etch is on the back here, and that is the number 1300. So that is an actual piece that comes in on a little sheet within inside the model. So you got to look for that thing. It's just 1300. And that went on really easy. You just press it down, and I rubbed it with an eraser on a pencil. They have you putting it on at the end of the build, though. I suggest that you put it on before you attach the engine cover to the car, because once you start trying to press on any of this stuff, once you've got it all built, it becomes very difficult. So, and the same thing, most of the trim on this car I put on before I put it onto the chassis. I put all the trim on the body before I attached it to the chassis. I also attached the tailpipes before I put the body onto the chassis. You can do it regardless of what the instructions show. And you'll find out that it's much easier to do it that way than attempt to put all this trim on after you get the body onto the car. Because it's much easier to move the hood around by itself. I'm sorry, the trunk lid around by itself, or the engine lid around by itself, and all these things. It's just easier with just the body. In any case, that would be my suggestion when assembling this. Otherwise, you can almost build it straight out of the box. I think the most problematic areas that I had with the car were, well, I already mentioned the glass. The glass is a pain. The mirrors were also a bit problematic, and obviously the rear tail lights, they were a bit of a problem. Beyond that, not so much of a problem. It actually went together fairly easily, with the exception of those parts and some of the parts on the engine. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the car back to the front, and through the magic of editing, I'm going to go ahead and open the trunk lid and the engine lid and give it another spin around. Okay, so there's the engine. It's not a bad looking engine. I tell you what though, I think the engine on my other Volkswagen, the Revell Volkswagen engine, I think it looks better, and I also think that it went together easier. And the thing is I think the Revell engine actually had more parts than this one did, but this one, I don't know. I just was having problem after problem building it, and I think that's one of the reasons why I stopped building it to begin with, is I was just having more issues with the engine than I wanted to have. And I was actually thinking that the Tamiya model would go together easier than the Revell did. But kind of proved me wrong. Speaking of the Revell Volkswagen, let me pull that out now and we'll look at these side to side. Okay, before we do the complete spin around on the table here, I want to show you that the interior of the 67 Volkswagen by Revell, the trunk space is devoid of any kind of real detail. And that is one of the main reasons I really wanted the Volkswagen Beetle from Tamiya, because they actually laid out the trunk. And that is definitely a weak point on here. So I don't know if they make an aftermarket trunk area for this car, but if they do, then that would be something I would definitely be willing to invest in. With that said, let's put the lid on. Well, before I put on the lid, also this has a chrome VW that you actually put on the trunk lid. See there, it's an actual piece that you glue in place. It's a little VW emblem that you glue in place. So they have like a little photo etch sticker. This is a little larger or thicker, and it just glues on top of the lid. Also, the little grip here, or the little handle here, much easier to attach than the one that was on Tamiya. All right, let me get this lid on and then we'll proceed. Okay, headlights are a little easier to assemble than on this Volkswagen. These are a different shape too. The 66 are rounder. This has a more pronounced ring going around, and then you just put a little lens into the ring. So, and you see the difference there. Much easier to assemble, but these they might be better looking. That's really up to individuals. Both of them have these little chrome parts down here. All of these parts are added detail. You glue them on. It's not molded in, which is cool. These have a chrome running plate, and then I used a black wash to get the lines in the rubber versus the Tamiya, which was white, and then I just painted it black. So I like the chrome ones definitely better. These come with a white wall decal for the tires, which is really cool, and has really nice hubcaps. So those are pretty cool too. As you can tell, this was the Ecto Bug. I made this for a build a while back. That's why it's in red and white. Got a nice red interior. You have to paint the details into the dashboard on the Tamiya. This one has decals for the dashboard, much better. Both of them have a really nice interior to build, so I really like both of the interiors. These have, oops, I just knocked that loose a little bit. These have a molded in tail light, and then you just gotta glue those back on. This was built 4 or 5 years ago, so a lot of the parts with white glue are about ready to give up the ghost and fall out. Got a trail hook or a tail hook here, so you can actually hook a little trailer on here. So you got a little trailer hook. You got the tail pipes too, chrome tail pipes. So all in all, really nice. Can I get this open? Or do I have to take it apart? You can't see the engine there. Do I want to take off the body? No, I don't want to. Hold on. Let's see if I can break it all. Okay, got the body off. You can see the engine here. It's a nice little tub that it's sitting in and everything. And you just kind of drop it into there. It was a really fun engine to build. A little tricky. Definitely got some finicky parts on there, but really went together well. And then you can see, let's pop this open. Here's the interior here. And you can see the dash up there. And just I don't know, a much nicer dash. Some of it is definitely painted detail, like this the AM/FM radio that was painted, but I believe there's a decal for the instrument panel too. Yeah, and you see the doors there in red and white. That's why I painted this gray, so that it would not bleed through, because that red definitely showed through whenever you'd hit it with lighting. And notice that it has the sides going up here for the seat belts, which was pretty cool too. All right, let's get the body back on. Oh, by the way, you see the air sniffer there? That goes all the way through and down into the engine compartment. So I actually did that. Oh, here's the other thing. You don't have the... I just knocked something off. Knew that was going to happen. You've got a panel for the top here. And that's because this is also the police vehicle, and there's all sorts of holes here where you can actually attach the different what do they call them? Bubblegum machines, whatever you want to call them. The lights that you go on the top of the police cars, the Polizei Volkswagens, and that was really helpful because, as you can tell, I punched a bunch of holes in the top here, but it didn't matter because there's a liner here. And you see also the seatbelt portions up here and the little flaps. And I believe you can actually lower those flaps. I have them up, but you can see all that detail too. And also the lid goes up and down with no real issues going on. So that was much better. All in all, when Revell made this kit, they thought it out better than what Tamiya did. Let me just put it that way. The parts that Revell should have investigated a little bit better on is basically the front area here. They should have finished off the area under the trunk lid, but they have a much better interior, much better engine bay, and much better outside trim. including the light that I have to now replace. But in both kits, actually, I think the Revell kit costs less money than the Tamiya kit too. Might not. They're both about the same price. They go for somewhere around $25-30 each one of them. But all in all, I really have to give my nod to the Revell 67 over the Tamiya 66, with the exception of the trunk area. Matter of fact, I might buy another Tamiya just for the trunk area and do something else with it. Use it for parts for something else. But yeah, there you have it. That's my feeling. If you're looking at getting one of these, I think the Revell and the 67 Revell is probably better. Now that's the 1/24 scale Revell. It's the blue Beetle on the box. Go for that one, or the Polizei one, which has a lot more parts in it. The Polizei one does not have the white walls though, and those white walls really look nice on this kit. I wish the Tamiya had the white walls. Anyway, there you have it. The biggies for the Tamiya are probably the little photo etch VW there, the 1300 on the back. Those are big pluses. The tricked out interior for the trunk space, and well, they really do have some nice looking wheels. But the Revell, otherwise, I'm going with it. If I'm going to buy another one, I'd probably buy another Revell before I buy the Tamiya, unless I need that trunk space. In any case, there's my last thoughts. I will leave you with some slides. Okay, I got to tell you, I really did not want to take this apart, but I figured I should. You saw the engine and everything for the other car, the other Volkswagen, and I really didn't show it for this one, so here we go. Let me get some more light on there, see how that works out. That's the other engine. It's not bad. I do like it, but I don't know. I just kind of like the one for the Revell model better. There is the dash, pretty nice dash. Everything was painted on there, and there you have the interior. Surprising, it's a little harder to see in here because, well, it's a black interior now instead of red and white. You can see the doors, the detail on the doors is not nearly as nice as what you had on the other kit, the Revell kit. Much better detail, I thought, on especially the door panels and stuff. But you do have the front, the trunk area, that is nicer. And then you see here the inside top. All you really have is the mirror up there, and then the glass. So all in all, I think the interior on the Revell definitely wins out. But now to try and put this together again without breaking anything.
Thank you for visiting Toby's Sideshow of Scale Styrene. If you liked what you saw, please consider giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment. Share it with your friends, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up online. Thanks again for visiting, and see you soon.